Slot Car News, sponsored by LEB Hobbies, your specialist in home and hobby slot car racing. Yes, folks, it's Friday, and I'm doing this from my laptop because I got a treatment today, and it went quite a bit longer than I thought it might. There were no complications or anything. It just took a little while. We are getting right into it with probably the most news I've ever had. We're cranking back up to the holiday season, which is when most people release their cars. So, oh baby, arrived and/or arriving soon at dealers. Fiat NSRs to start. The Fiats are arriving basically any day. These are the John Player special cars. I mentioned these, I think, a week or two ago, but we're mentioning them again. 9083, the kind of tall tail, with the kind of winglets on the back. Martini livery, number 8. I believe that's a Targa. I think they were all Targas, race cars. And a pair of SLS Mercedes, the WeatherTech cars. Yeah, boy, those look really, really nice. Thunder Slot also have arrived. 2 Lola T70s. There's a white one, and I'm at my computer here. It's a blue one, or it's a baby blue one. Where's the other? And a white one. Yes, baby blue and white. You will see the photos here. Of course. Scale Auto. 2 high-nose Formula One cars have arrived. Don't have too much to say about these. They look very nice, and they run really well, which, as we all know, all of the F1 cars do from Scale Auto. And, drum roll please, the racing liveries of the BMW have finally arrived as well. Really great looking cars. Exciting stuff. Very happy about that. Is that all the Scale Auto? Yes. Okay, now we're moving on to Sideways. They've been busy. They are showing, as of, I think today, they started showing 3 liveries, finally painted liveries of the Bentley. It's a GT3 car. I know we're all going to be excited about that. It looks really, really good. And if you're in the market for a Bentley, this is definitely a unique looking car, the Bentley, in real life. You have it now with these 3 liveries. Fantastic stuff. Very happy to see those come in. More modern GT3 cars. Yes, please. 4 new liveries. 4? Yes, I believe so. Yes. John Player, there's kind of like a world one. This is the BMW M1, by the way. Helps if you mention that. You make a silly little man. And a Wagner Marlboro livery, as well as a Jägermeister livery. Oh boy, those M1s look good. And the M1's a pretty big car. I guess these are, I don't technically think these are the Pro Cars series, although they could certainly be. Regardless, frankly, it doesn't matter. Nice to see them bringing out those liveries. John Player special. Can't go wrong with that. Slot it with 2 pieces of news. No, sorry, 3 pieces of news. They're showing an Audi R8 Le Mans Series. That's a 2025 release. Beautiful livery on that car. Looking really good. And they're showing 2 liveries, or 2 new liveries of cars from existing molds. The Alpha DTM that you see here, that looks really good. That is yes it is. That's a Martini car. Looks fantastic. And vintage GT40, the Golf GT40. Man, if you don't have a GT40, one of their classic series cars, you really need to pick one up. This is a great one to start with. If you don't have one now, yes, you can make them digital if you know what you're doing. These are beautifully running cars. They're beautiful molds. The detail on these is fantastic, and they got all the curves right. In my opinion, I mean, it's just a really amazing car, and I'm happy that they have done more of these. Awesome stuff. Revo slot with a number of escorts. They're doing, I believe, a triple pack of escorts that you see here, in addition to three. Well, there's one livery that comes separately, and then there are two more liveries that are not part of that triple pack series that look really, really good. Oh, baby. And we know how they all run. If you love Revo slot, you're going to love these. If you don't, sorry. There's plenty out there to buy. We are going to wrap this up with a really exquisite pair of slot cars. And I hope I don't get this name incorrectly pronounced. Modelant? Any way you pronounce it. These Loti, oh, baby, they've done a nice job with the shapes on these cars. These look like incredible little models of these cars. You know, some very specific cars and very unique. This body is very unique. I haven't seen this body ever done before, and the finish on these cars looks absolutely stunning. Good job. Is that everything? It's according to all my notes. I'm just checking here. Checking my notes. Yeah, checking my notes. Checking my screen here to make sure. Yeah, I believe we got it all, folks. Come back after this, and I'll wrap the video up with a little bit of an editorial about something. I don't really know what yet. Come back. Alrighty, guys, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you sticking around through the racing and show news. This week's video is just kind of like this week's editorial is just kind of, I don't know, what to expect from manufacturers. There basically are two toy companies that we know about, right? There are Scalextric and Carrera. And they make slot cars for the broadest possible audience. Now, pretty much all of the other companies are companies that make slot cars for collectors, but mainly for hobbyists, I guess I would say. Just generally kind of grouping all hobbyists into one, I just got a message for some reason, an hour late from my wife. Strange. Grouping them kind of into one group as hobbyist quality. In no particular order, because I get a lot of these questions like, oh, are Scale Auto cars worth it? Oh, are Thunder Slot cars worth it? Oh, Pioneer. What other ones? Mainly Sideways, Thunder Slot, Scale Auto. A lot of folks, they know Pioneer. That's not, it's not like a mystery to them. Excellent quality stuff. The other brands, like all of the brands that we have are all basically the same kind of quality, and it's basically, what you like. There's no bad quality out there with the hobbyist brands. NSR, all the news I have today, NSR, Thunder Slot, Scale Auto, Sideways, Slot It, and whom else? Revo Slot. you know, those are all like hobbyist quality. You just simply can't go wrong with those. And, you know, you shouldn't, and it's fine, you know, to ask people their opinions about, you know, should you buy this or that car, but there's really no, you know, there's no bad quality car out there. There might be cars that, you know, you have to do a little more or a little less tuning on. But by and large, it's really all good stuff. And, you know, I've said it a lot, and I'm not going to repeat that part of it, but, you know, we're kind of spoiled for choice. But, you know, it's also that we have, you know, we have very, very good quality stuff. And, you know, it's basically all worth buying. You know, I can't, you know, tell people, you know, there's nothing that I would steer people away from. I would generally steer people away from the hobbyist brands if they're brand new, quite frankly, because you don't want to have someone who's new in the hobby just basically start with a out and out hobbyist quality car when they're not really ready for that. They don't know how to tune yet. They don't know how to, you know, do a lot of the things that you need to do when you buy one of those cars. So, you know, I usually do suggest that people stick with the Carrera or Scalextric cars for sure. You really can't go wrong with either of those, and they're easy to get to run right out of the box. You frankly don't have to do much of anything to either of them besides fold the braid down so you make sure it touches the track. I mean, yeah. So anyway, that's it. You know, it's don't be afraid to try the hobby brands out there if you haven't, you know, tried an NSR or a Thunder Slot or a Revo Slot or a Slot It or a Sideways or a Scale Auto car. Definitely give them a try. They're all worth buying, and you may not end up liking this or that car from this or that brand. You might let's just say you might have a brand that you like a little more than others, and that's perfectly fine. You know, we all tend to gravitate toward things we like more than others. We don't like everything. Anyway, I just figured I'd mention that. I really appreciate it, folks. I don't think I will be able to do a live stream on Sunday. It's my kind of one day off this week, on the weekend, that is. I do have another video or two that I'm gonna go live with from the NASCAR race last week. The folks on the Buy Me a Coffee got to see got to see the video early, and I'll probably do an on-track LEB sponsored on-track because I got a couple cars from them that I haven't gotten out of the box yet, haven't looked at yet. So, but that'll probably happen early next week. Thanks a lot, folks. I really appreciate it. See you all again soon.